Dubiest of the tubiest. The best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. I'm 50 plus. Mess with the Julio.
So yeah.
How you handling it so far? This is the start of, actually tomorrow starts week 3 for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, that's right. So how's it going so far? What do you think?
So far so good. I mean, I think I handled it better than driving, you know.
Yeah.
And backing I'm getting a little better.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to try more, like, you know, getting more the hours of service. I want to get into that.
Yeah.
You know, deeper, because I want to get down pat. Because
it's a simple deal, but you have to cross over that line of not knowing and having a little bit of a clue. And once you have a little bit of a clue, it just takes off from there. It's just a plethora of information that you can grasp. It's that concept of knowing that you've got 3 clocks to work with, and what each clock is meant for, right?
yeah.
So 1 clock you don't have to worry about daily, okay? The other 2 you do, okay? So your shortest clock is an 8-hour clock, okay? And we're gonna show you these in just a minute, but how they look on the Qualcomm. But I just kind of want to give an explanation of what each clock means, okay? And a little bit of a breakdown, so that when we start looking at them, you can almost have a little clue of what I'm talking about, right? All right, so the shortest clock is an 8-hour clock, all right? And what that 8-hour clock, everything's simple, what we're talking about here, okay? We're keeping everything basic, everything simple to understand. I have to say that because somebody's going to get in the comments and say a whole bunch of extra stuff. But we're not getting extra, we're trying to get an understanding, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that shortest clock is an 8-hour clock. And what that 8-hour clock means is that you can work 8 consecutive hours nonstop. But at that 7-hour and 59th minute, you're going to take a break. You have to take a break at 8 hours. That break has to be a minimum of 30 minutes. Okay? That break can be taken on duty, off duty, sleeper. Any of those 3. But it has to be 30 consecutive minutes, okay? So if you time it just perfect and you pull up to a fuel island and you get out and you take a 30-minute break, fuel in your truck and sitting on your cooler at the fuel island for 30 minutes. You're going to piss off a whole lot of folks.
Yeah.
But you can do that. Okay? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay? But the reason I say that is because that period of time that you are fueling or actually on duty, maybe you're securing a load or tightening or doing a load check, tire check. If it takes you 30 minutes to do that stuff, you're going to come back in and your clock is going to look different because you can satisfy the 30-minute break in the on-duty line, okay? All right, so now you have 11 hours to drive, okay? And if you're on that that drive line for 8 hours, and you take a 30-minute break, you can then drive an additional 3 hours, because you actually had not just 8 hours, but you had actually 11 hours to drive. Okay? 8 hours of that 11 is that first clock. Okay? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, 9, 8. Okay? That area right there. That's that top clock.
Okay.
Then the next clock is 8, then 9, 10, 11. So you actually have those extra 3 hours, but you can't drive 11 straight. So they make a mark, and that mark is that 8-hour period of time. Okay? So the first line is how long you can drive before you have to take a break. 8 hours, okay? And then you take that 30-minute break. After that 30-minute break, you're going to get 3 more. That's right. Okay. So let's assume that you drove 11 hours. You used 11 hours of your clock, on the clock, okay? That 11 hours will be deducted from the final clock, the big clock, which is the 70-hour clock, okay? All right. So in that 11-hour work time, there is also a window that the 11-hour clock can be run, okay? And so let's say you use 8 hours, okay? You use that 8-hour clock, and then you decide, I think I'm gonna take a break. And then you take a break, and you decide to take a 7-hour break, and then take off again, okay? Well, 7 plus 8 is bigger than 11, okay? And eventually what's going to happen is you will break into your large window clock. And your large window clock is 14, okay? And that 14-hour window is the moderator to keep you from taking that 7-hour window break after that 8, okay? It says, the rule says that 14-hour clock, that 14-hour window of time is the amount of time that is allotted for you to use 11 hours of driving, okay? So you can drive 8 hours, take a 9, 10, 11-hour break, and then 9, 10, 11, 3-hour break, and then start back over with 9, 10, 11 of your 11-hour clock to get them last 3 hours done. And as long as you're getting all that done within that 14-hour window, you're good.
That's what we do the other day.
That's right. That's why my mind said, hey man, if you got to pull over, take a pee-pee, pull over, take a break, pull over. You got time. You got that window of time to work with, okay? So 8-hour window, you run 8 hours, and at that 8-hour period of time, what happens? After you run 8 hours, what do you have to do?
Break.
That's right. You got to take a break. That's right. Okay? When you get, how long does the break have to be?
30.
Yeah, at least 30 minutes. That's right. Okay, so after that 30 minutes, how many hours of driving can you go some more?
3 more.
3 more. That's going to satisfy the 11, right?
Yeah.
So now we know that you have 11 hours that you can run. You remember how much time, how many hours is the next clock that allows you, how much allotted time you have to run 11 hours?
14.
14, that's right. That's right. Now, one thing about that 14-hour clock that you don't want to forget is that sucker starts running and it starts depleting. Tick, 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 tick. And it's going to keep on going down until it reaches 0 hours. And if that 14 reaches 0 hours, I don't care if you drove only 2 hours on duty. If that 14-hour clock hits 0, you can't drive anymore. Because the 14-hour clock is the gatekeeper, and the 70-hour clock is the master ruler. That 14 tries to help you regulate yourself daily, and the 70-hour clock regulates you over. Some companies do a 7-day window. Some companies use an 8-day window, but in that window is that 70 hours. Okay. That 70-hour clock is going down along with that 14. Okay. And the 70, once depleted, takes you to yet a different video, which would be your recaps. Okay. And before, as an OTR driver, recaps is going to be something that you're going to need to work with. So we don't ever see recaps because we get we do a reset every weekend. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just stay basic with it. We're going to continue to talk about the clocks that you're going to work with daily. If you go to like a shipper, okay, or any customer, and you park at that shipper and you put yourself off duty, and that shipper takes longer than 2 hours, okay, you can, once per 14-hour window, stop that 14-hour clock from ticking. You can do that by pushing that wheel pair button on that front screen. I showed you the little wheel pair button right in the front of your hours of service screen. That one right there. Okay, yeah. You tap that, and that signal came up and said that you're not to violate the sleeper berth rule doing that. So all we're trying to do is use that feature to buy us some time that we don't waste our 14-hour clock at the shipper while we're waiting for them to, get back from their long lunch or, gas up the forklift or whatever they got going on. But anyways, we can stop it after 2 hours, okay? Okay. If that button's clicked in and you're either on off duty or sleeper berth.
The 14-hour doesn't stop.
It will after 2 hours if you have that wheel pair button clicked in.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And that's a split sleeper. But
do you got to do it before? Like once you park, or after the 2 hour pass, you got to click it?
No. But this is when you're gonna click it. When I drop you off, you're gonna go take a little quiz. You're gonna do a little compliance stuff with Ed Melton, and they're gonna give you the keys to a truck. Okay. Okay. When they give you the keys to a truck, they're gonna tell you to log into the Qualcomm. When you log into the Qualcomm, you're gonna push that WP with that wheel pair button. Yeah. Right then, and you ain't never gonna uncheck it. Forever, it's gonna be checked. Okay. All right. And if for some reason,
so automatically does that.
No, you're gonna tap that.
No, I'm saying after that.
Oh yes, it will automatically do it. That's why sometimes you'll say, "Hey man, I got a bunch of time back," right? You don't know why. Well, it's because I got that wheel back button kicked in.
Now that makes sense.
Yes.
Now everything coming back. Like that's what I'm telling you. That last time.
Excuse me.
Last time that I was like, man, I took a 2 hour break.
Yeah.
you know, how all that time.
Excuse me.
I gained a couple of time back. I gained like 3 hours more. I was like, where this time came from?
Well, now some of that time come from if it's been less than, well, after 30 minutes, if you have more of that 11-hour clock available to you, up to the maximum of, at a time, the maximum you're going to get back is 8 hours, right? That's the most that line can have, the top line, 8 hours. So let's say we drove only 1 hour to a shipper, and we stopped there. How many hours do you have on the 11 still? You still have, what, 10, right? Because you only used 1. Right. All right. So we pull up to shipper, and we say, hey, okay, wait over there. We just wait, okay? And we wait there for 30 minutes. 31 minutes. At 31 minutes, if you look at your clock again, how many available hours you have to burn right then? The maximum you can burn, right? The 8 hours.
Yeah.
Why? When we stopped, we drove for 1 hour, right? When we stopped, it showed 7.
Yeah.
Okay? But we still have, you know, we have like 10 hours available to us. If you stay for longer than a 30-minute break, it actually gives you all the hours that it can allot you.
But it's still deducted
for 8 hours.
But it's still deducted from the 11, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it. That's right. That's right. Okay.
It give you the 8 hours, but it still take it an hour from the 11.
Correct. And the reason that it's doing that is because the maximum you can have at one time is 8 hours. Available to you is 8 hours without taking a 30-minute break, right? Yeah. Same thing. If we went there and it actually took us an hour and a half, okay, you're still, after 30 minutes, you're going to get an hour and a half back, right? So it's going to be back 8 hours, and then you'll have 9.5 available.
Yeah.
Okay? So
only once you feel like when you rest, it give you, if the computer, like, you know what, he took a rest, so now I'll give him back some hours, you know, because he rested.
Right. It's going to give you the maximum that's available to you, yeah, and available for you. Okay. So the 11 of hours is available for you. Okay. But only 8 hours is available to you, because you can use 8.
Yeah.
That's 8 hours to you. And then we got some more of this in the bank for you, but you can't get it until you deplete some of this at the top. And when you deplete it and you take that 30-minute break, we'll fill your cup to the brim with whatever you got left.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then that just keeps happening until you have no more in the pot, and at some point you would end up with your 8 hour window. That number may be greater than your 11 hour window. That can happen because you've driven too much. Okay? Yeah. Not too much, but you've driven more than you've driven more than the amount that can be tallied back up to you. Okay?
Yeah.
So at that point, you know what you can get after a break based off of the clock window, and I'm going to show you that as a summary window. We're gonna get to that in just a minute. The main thing is, when I show you that summary window, you can kind of know what we're working with. Okay, kind of get a grasp. But it doesn't matter if we get to it. What matters is the concept of those 3 clocks, that you actually grasp those concepts. The 70, that clock. The only thing that you really need to know about that clock right off the bat is, every time we pull up and you pop that brake, I tell you what, you got to what?
I want to put myself on duty.
Yep. You got to change that duty status in that Qualcomm. You pop that yellow brake, you better be going. Your next move with your hand should be going to that duty clock.
Yeah.
Okay? you're going to do a couple of things. You're going to put yourself on duty because you're going to prepare some work, or you're going to put yourself off duty for a break. But that's going to happen right then. You understand?
Yeah.
Because why? I do not want to take available hours off my 70 because I'm just sitting around doing nothing. You're wasting that time. Okay? So you don't want to waste your 70. All right? So go off duty immediately. Don't waste that 70-hour clock. Okay? And and that's why I was teaching you the clock in, clock out thing. That kind of help you if you was to brain fart. I forgot to. Well, it'll do it for you, but that's a different video. Again, main thing to take from it is to make sure you are actually managing your time, and that it is actually doing what you want it to do when you want it to do it.
Yeah.
If you want it to be on duty and you're going out there to do some securement, unsecurement, doing load check, tire check, or whatever. These are performing work, by the way. If you perform work, you need to be on a work line, which is the on-duty line.
Yeah.
In fact, you cannot click the off-duty line and then pick a work status because
it's not there.
That's right.
The feature's not there.
That's right, and you do not want to be pulled in and say, oh, well, I've been doing load check, tire checks, and then they look at it and say, no.
I don't see this.
Yeah, did you do it off duty? And you go, yeah!
It's not, yeah.
Oh my God. That ain't how it works. But, we want to go ahead and make sure that our duty statuses match and that we're only in those duty statuses as little as possible, and then conserve your times, okay? Any questions with it so far?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to take a look at the Qualcomm, and I want you guys to see how a duty clock looks. Okay, here we go. All right, so here we go. Now, here's your 8-hour clock, 11-hour clock, and then 14 and 70. 70 is what you're going to have for your, depending on what your company has, 7 or 8 day. Okay, 14 hours is in a 24-hour period of time. That's what you're going to be able to be on duty. Okay, and then driving, you got 11 hours you can drive. You have 8 hours that you can run without taking a break. Okay, if you hit 8 hours, you must take a 30-minute break. Okay. After that, you're going to get whatever you have remaining on this line. Prime example. So we've been sitting long enough, and whatever we had remaining on our 11, that's what we got, and that's why it matches right there at the top. You see? If you ever wonder, while taking a 30-minute break, here we go. If you ever wonder while taking a 30-minute break, how much you're going to have coming back to you, look at these two numbers right here. There you go, back and focused. Out of the 11 and the 14, whichever is the smallest, that's what you're going to get back. That's why you got an hour and 12 minutes, not the hour and 40. Whichever one is the smallest is what you're going to get back after that break, okay? Any questions about that one?
So whatever break you take up here is going to give it back to you here?
So, yeah, if you have enough hours in that 11-hour window. So let's say...
okay, I get it now. I get it. If I would have... This is going to give me only 1 and 12 minutes because that's all I have.
That's all you have. That's right. I don't care how long the break is. You see, that's why you only got an hour and 12 minutes at the top.
I get it.
Okay.
Totally get it.
Yep. Yeah. So, that's it. You got any other questions? I'm not for you.
Good.
Yeah. Whenever.
Because the 11 cannot borrow from the 14?
Well, it is. It is. The 11.
So what?
The 11. The 14 dictates how long you can you have to do 11.
Okay.
11 is your maximum drive hours. Okay.
Okay.
And the 14 tells you how much time you have remaining to perform 11 hours of work. Okay, so what can happen is you can be at a shipper for like 6 hours waiting to get loaded or get unloaded, and obviously that long break right there is eating into your 14-hour window. It doesn't stop once it gets started, right?
Yeah.
So if you do the wheel pair, you click that wheel pair button, and you stay longer than that 2-hour time span, the 14 will stop just once in
So once a day?
Once in a 24-hour period, yeah.
Once in 24 hours.
Yeah. So after your 14 is done, you take a 10-hour break, right? Because you're out of time. Well, 10 plus 14, 24. See? So you get the 10 back, then you've done a 24-hour period. It comes brand new 24-hour period for the start, you see?
So it started going, okay.
So now you can do that once again.
All right.
And it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it.
It's getting to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, I want y'all to see this picture. Here we go. Hey, y'all see that picture? So, hey, what happened? That truck on the corner?
Yeah.
You want to show you what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All the way, the other truck was out, right?
Yes.
It was not all the way into the parking.
Right. And so,
Man, the whole front was gone almost.
right. So, every time, that's a couple of things that I always tell you every time. You always want to be, what I tell you, you always want to
Straight.
every time, right? I tell you that all the time, right?
Yeah.
I say roll back, you're going to feel the tire.
Bump over back there.
Right. Why?
Because you don't want to leave your front out.
That's right.
Somebody will come and take it.
That's it. They'll take it with them down the road.
Yeah.
Hey.
I've seen it right
Yeah.
now. We've
Yeah.
seen it a couple of minutes ago.
Yes, that's right. And so, you know, it seems tedious, petty, or whatever, little bit things. I just keep saying, hey, make sure you straight. Make sure when you back into that line, to your lane, that you're centered in the lane and that you're not cocked. You need to be straight, centered in your lane and as far back in your lane as you can get. And we do not park on the end. Don't park on the end. We on the end right now, right?
Yeah.
Right. But guess what's on the side of us?
Sidewalk.
The sidewalk, the curb, you can't park right there. And if they do park right there, ain't a damn thing we yeah. We in for a rocky night, man.
The weather's
The
looking
weather's
crazy
looking real.
right now. The right there, no?
Yeah. All right. So we had our neighbor was giving us some yaps. So yeah, you know, listen. I don't care who you drive for. I don't care if you're on your own truck. If you don't park, you got to be picky where you park. If you're not picky, somebody gonna pick you to tear your truck up. And when they pull your front end off, you ain't going anywhere. You ain't going nowhere to bust your headlight. You can't pass DOT inspection. You done. You can't go anywhere.
And that's still your fault, right? Because he was sticking out.
Yeah. Well, he was parked.
Yeah, but he was sticking out the line.
He was sticking out. But if you're now making that turn, we're not hitting him because we're going to be responsible enough to not do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the guy was parked. If he got hit, whoever hit him is responsible. Even though this guy set himself up, you know, he's still going to lose because he's going to be out for work he could be out for work for 2 months, man. As long as it takes him to fix that truck.
If it's
You
personal.
know, that's it. Yeah.
If it's
I
personal.
mean, that's enough to sink
But
the
if it's a
average
company
truck
truck,
driver.
he probably get fired too.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know how y'all's company do it, but I mean, you know, listen, I don't make the calls over here at Melton, but everybody make mistakes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Okay. If you don't do it intentionally, if you know, circumstances prevent it, and you don't even have to be that way, because you know what? Rest areas, oh my goodness, the world's worst. We're gonna spend a night at a rest area one time. I promise you.
Oh, yesterday when I was driving.
Yeah.
When I was going something called Laredo.
Yeah.
Man, I seen the rest area.
Pack.
Even the middle.
Yes, in the middle. That's right. You can park at a rest area
Yeah.
and not leave until everybody gone. They will block you in there. That's bad, man. And they will take off and hit you, and you just in the sleep or feeling the whole truck rocking. And by the time you jump up, they gone. And they can pull your bumper off, man, not even know they done it.
That's a big semi.
Now we're 80,000 pounds. You 80,000 pounds, you pull off somebody's fiberglass bumper, you're not gonna feel it. You know, you got to be watching to see that it happen. But that truck had so much damage, ain't no goddamn way in hell that dude didn't know he tore that man truck up.
Man, the thing was like half.
Yeah.
It was cut in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like beat up.
It does.
Like
So
once the front, the hood, it was on the floor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So are we good on DLT clock for right now?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll do another lesson soon. Till we see you again, deliver undistracted. Here's your boot.
All right.
See you. Boop.